Before architecture existed, before cities rose from the ground, before walls defined space, there was fear. Fear of the dark. Fear of the cold. Fear of animals moving unseen. Fear of the night itself. For early humans, night was not silent. It was full of sounds. A branch breaking, a distant growl, a shadow moving where nothing should move. Every sound carried meaning. Every sound could mean death. Fear did not come suddenly. It arrived slowly. It stayed. It watched. And it never left. Because in a world without shelter, fear was the price of being alive. And that fear changed everything. It forced humans to think, to adapt, to build. Not for comfort, not for beauty, but for survival. This is the story of how fear shaped the first homes on Earth, and why those ancient fears still live inside the places we call home. Long before houses existed, humans slept beneath open skies. No protection, no boundaries, no safe place to return to. During the day, the world felt manageable. But at night, everything changed. Darkness erased distance. Predators moved closer. The human body, slow and fragile, was no match for claws and teeth. Fear was constant. Fear was necessary. Those who ignored it did not survive. And so humans began to search for places where fear felt smaller. The first homes were not built. They were found. Caves. Openings in stone that offered shelter from rain, from wind, from watching eyes. Inside a cave, sound changed. Smell changed. The world felt contained. But caves were not safe by default. They were dark, deep, unfamiliar. Something could be hiding beyond the shadows. That is why fire became essential. Fire brought warmth. Fire brought light. Fire brought control. Light pushed fear back. Darkness retreated. This ancient lesson remains. Even today, we design homes around light because fear taught us that light means safety. Inside the cave, humans gathered around fire, not randomly, but in circles. The fire circle became the first room. Inside the circle was safety. Outside the circle was threat. This is where stories were told, where memory was preserved, where fear was shared instead of faced alone. This was the beginning of community, and this pattern still exists. Living rooms, dining tables, shared spaces. Architecture still remembers the fire. Caves were rare. As humans migrated, they had to face fear without stone walls, so they built. Branches tied together, animal skins stretched tight, mud pressed into shape. The first huts appeared. They were small, low, close to the ground, not because humans lacked imagination, but because fear demanded control. Small spaces were easier to defend, easier to hear danger approaching, easier to escape from. Fear prefers tight boundaries. That instinct never disappeared. As threats grew more complex, shelter evolved. Homes rose above the ground. Platforms, stilts, high ground. Height gave visibility. Visibility gave time. Time meant survival. This instinct shaped watchtowers, balconies, and windows facing outward. Even modern skyscrapers reflect this ancient fear. We still want to see. We still want control. Walls changed everything. They separated inside from outside, safety from danger. Walls created privacy, protection, ownership. Then came doors, and later, locks. The moment humans could close something behind them, sleep became deeper. Security became psychological, not just physical. Even today, locking a door brings relief. This ritual is ancient. Fear never vanished. It adapted. One shelter was never enough. Humans learned that survival improved in numbers. Homes gathered together. Villages formed. Shared walls. Shared watch. Shared fear. This was the birth of community planning. Entrances controlled. Centers protected. Paths designed for visibility. Cities were not born from ambition. They were born from fear. Safety came first. Everything else followed. Modern homes look very different from the shelters of the past. They are cleaner, brighter, filled with technology. But the instincts behind them have barely changed. Fear is still present. It has simply changed its shape. We no longer fear wild animals outside the door, but we fear intrusion, uncertainty, loss of control. This is why modern homes are filled with systems of protection. Security cameras watching silently, smart locks responding instantly, sensors detecting movement, sound, and light. These tools are modern, but the instinct behind them is ancient. We still want to know what is happening around us before danger arrives. Inside the home, design continues to answer fear in subtle ways. Open-plan layouts reduce blind spots. We can see more. We feel more aware. Minimal interiors remove visual noise. Less clutter means fewer unknowns. The mind feels calmer when the environment feels controlled. Warm lighting softens shadows. Sharp corners are avoided. Materials feel smooth, solid, reliable. These choices are not accidental. They calm the nervous system. They tell the brain that this space is safe. Even the idea of home automation comes from fear. Lights that turn on automatically. Doors that lock themselves. Alerts that warn us before something goes wrong. All of it serves one purpose: to reduce uncertainty. Because uncertainty has always been dangerous. Modern homes also reflect social fear. Fear of isolation. Fear of being alone. This is why shared spaces still matter. Living rooms, kitchens, common areas where people gather. Even in the digital age, we design spaces to bring people together. Because safety has never been only physical. It has always been emotional. And beneath all the technology, beneath the clean lines and modern materials, the purpose of home remains unchanged. A place where fear is quieter. A place where the world feels manageable. A place where humans can rest. Architecture has evolved. Fear has evolved. But the conversation between them has never ended. Fear is often seen as weakness. But fear built humanity. Fear pushed us into caves. Fear taught us to use fire. Fear shaped walls, doors, and cities. Every home on Earth carries the memory of fear. Yet fear also created something else: warmth, belonging, family. The first homes were not designed for comfort. They were designed to keep humans alive. And in many ways, they still serve the same purpose. Because the greatest structure humans ever built was not a house. It was safety. And that structure still stands around us today.